The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What is up? It is time for Cowboys StoryLine. I'm Nick Eatman here. It is Thursday, December the 7th. Moving right along here in this month of December, final one of 2023. Cowboys still have 5 games to go, and some tough ones coming up. Obviously, starts with the Eagles. We knew this coming in, that this was going to be a huge game, and it's the last team to beat Dallas, and we'll see if the Cowboys can get a little revenge on them. It should be a fun one Sunday night against the Eagles. Now, like we do before we kind of turn it loose to you guys on the calls and the texts, we go through some of the storylines, and it's hard to get a bigger storyline than your head coach in the hospital for appendicitis on Wednesday. That was kind of a surprise news, obviously, with Mike McCarthy. He should be doing fine, though. He did leave the hospital back home, and you know, they've got some experience on the coaching staff. Obviously, it starts with Dan Quinn, Brian Schottenheimer, and John Fossil, the special teams coordinator. All three of them kind of helping with running practice duties. Dan Quinn met with the media yesterday. I believe Schottenheimer will talk to the media here in about an hour and a half or so. So they're all kind of pitching in and helping. The plan is for McCarthy to be coaching the game. Even Dak Prescott said yesterday, he chatted with reporters a little bit about it, and he said, I know Mike's going to be really pissed about it, just mad because of a game like this. You want to have all hands on deck, and he's expecting, that was the plan yesterday, that McCarthy would be ready to coach on Sunday. I think everyone's kind of like, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what that looks like. I have not heard anything that changes that. If he's on the sideline, that would be great. If not, maybe it's a switch. Maybe Dan Quinn, who's up in the booth, is on the sideline, and Mike is upstairs. Don't know what's going to happen. We'll see on how he's doing, but hopefully Coach McCarthy is doing better and feeling better, and everything would be about as normal as you can be heading into this game. So that's the big storyline, I think, for today. Obviously, there's a whole lot more going on with Cowboys, Eagles, and just everything that this means for the playoff picture. So let's get it started. We'll start with the phone calls. We've got Shelby in Virginia as our first caller. Shelby, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've got a quick question for you. If I told you right now you're going to be on the road and you're in the NFC Championship and you're going to win, would you rather that be against the Eagles in Philly or in San Francisco, especially considering you're the one that's going to be most likely doing the documentary that covers it? So I'll just hang up and listen. Thank you.
That's going to be the best question of the day. Like, that right there is the best question we'll get today. At least that's where it starts. He's the first caller. That's what you do. That's a leadoff home run right off the bat. Great question. Thank you, Shelby, for that question. All right. Here's somebody that's never been to an NFC Championship game ever. So, I would play the game in Wichita Falls, honestly. I think that would be kind of fun, too. That's pretty full circle for me. But at Philly or at San Francisco, if you have to win it on the road in someone else's house, you know what? I want everyone to call to answer that question right there, because that's a tough one. Because as soon as you think you've got the answer, you're like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Philly. Then again, do you want stuff thrown at you? I don't know. 49ers, from a historical standpoint, is pretty cool too. I'm going to let that one kind of go throughout the day here. That's a pretty good question. Would you rather the Cowboys win the NFC crown to go to the Super Bowl at San Francisco or at Philly? And that's the question. Those are the two options. Obviously, you'd love to do it at home if you can, and these fans have waited so long to get a chance to do that and see that. Certainly, that would be great. But if you can't do that, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the easiest route, that's a good one, man. I'm I lean towards Philly, but I don't know. That's a good question. All right, we got a text message question here. Carl in Nashville. Random question. That's about as random as it gets, but he's got a random one. Did you or the team ever talk with Dave Spadaro after the infamous Star incident? I think that was the last overboard rivalry moment between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Yes, that conversation has been had. Dave Spadaro, he does similar work that I would do here at DallasCowboys.com. He does with PhiladelphiaEagles.com. He's been there a long time. He does a lot of stuff on air. He writes stories. I think he leads their team and digital content and all that. And yes, I think it was second year they came down to Philly. The first year of the new stadium, and they came in on Saturday. I think they had a practice on Saturday to check out the new place and get the players. Sometimes teams will do that, and he did a video and then he spit on the Star at the 50-yard line. Spit on the Star. Thought that was cute and all that stuff. That didn't go well, obviously. He apologized. He apologized to me and I believe Derek Eagleton at the game, the next day or maybe later on that season. I'm not sure exactly how it went down, but yeah, it was definitely discussed. He was apologetic about it, and sometimes you get caught up in the rivalry. You get caught up in what you think your fans want to see and hear and all that stuff, and you can go overboard a little bit. So yeah, that happened. He apologized, and he's still there. And they do good work. The Eagles website and their digital team, social team, they do some good work too. I mean, it's a rivalry, obviously on the field, but when we look around and look at numbers and stats and what teams are doing good stuff, we like to think we're up there because we are. But they're up there as well. They do some really good stuff, and he's a part of that. But so that happened a long time ago, and it hasn't been forgotten. But yeah, it kind of move on. All right, Brian in Kansas City is our next caller. Brian, what's up?
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, I bought a new smart TV yesterday, and it came with the only football app on there was the Blue Star of the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go. All right.
I'm telling you. I love it. I didn't know about it until I got the new TV.
Yeah. That's awesome. So does that now do you watch on the app now? Is that you're going to watch on TV?
Yeah. So it's a smart TV.
Yep.
So it's just like the YouTube app, but it's only your content. It's so you don't have to. I don't have to flip through and find anything. Whatever current show is being aired is right in front.
Yep, that's you can download the Cowboys app, watch it on your smart TV. It's probably the easiest way to go in and on everything. Yeah, here we go. We love to do that. There you go, Chris. We love to do that also too on game day, and we'd love for you to check out all the action. We got post game, pre-game, all that. We got a pre-game show. We got like 3 post-game shows. I still can't keep up with what we do on the post-game. So a lot of Cowboys content throughout the day, not just Monday through Friday, but definitely on game day as well.
I'm going to love that being up here because I can't see Cowboys pregame in Kansas City, so I'm going to just love that.
The pregame show's got Kyle Yeomans hosts it. We've got Nate Newton, Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback. They throw it to me on the field. We got Stephen Jones interview before the game. A lot of good stuff there in the pregame show. So
nice.
Definitely check that out if you haven't so far. What do you got? What do you got on your mind?
Well, so, I give you what I think my matchup to watch this week is, and then maybe I'd like to hear yours.
Yeah.
And then I had an old-time moment.
Okay.
Not a player, just an old-time moment. So I think the offensive line is playing just head and shoulders above where they were a month and a half ago. I think the running game is going to be just different this time. I know the Eagles have a good defensive line, but that's the matchup I want to see.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to get your opinion on what matchup you're really looking forward to. And then my old-time play, it's really just one play. I just happened to catch it on YouTube the other day, and it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see because it looks like a comic. But it's Larry Allen in that play where he chases down the Saints linebacker from behind.
Right.
I just love that play. I mean, because you just can't. You look at how big he is, and he's passing these other people on the field.
Yeah,
it just looks comical, man. It's just unbelievable guy like that. Anyway, I'll hang up and listen to your answer, brother.
All right, thank you, appreciate that. The matchup to watch, I think you hit it. I mean, that's it. That's it for me is the offensive line because think about how they played. They went 3-game stretch there before the Seattle game, 3 games in a row where they didn't give up a sack. The last game they had given up a sack was 5 to the Eagles, and they actually lost the game because they gave up a sack, an 11-yard sack right there when they're trying to score and win the game. That was the difference maker in the whole game was that sack that pushed them back to like the 20-yard line from the 11 to the 21. The false start penalty was big, but I still think you could score from the 11, with a first and goal at the 11-yard line. But you get back to the 21, 22, that changes everything. And so that was the key. So now how do the Cowboys handle that kind of pressure? They've been doing fine against Washington and Carolina, the Giants. They didn't give up any sacks. But Seattle gave 4 sacks, and the Eagles had 5 the last time they met. So that's going to be the key, is can they get balance? Can they run the ball? Can they get out of those 3rd and long situations? So that's going to be the key there. That play of Larry Allen that you're talking about is one of the top plays in that if I did a list of my favorite plays of all time, that's right up there. That's right up there, at least in the top 10. Monday night game against the Saints, they wasn't the greatest game, but that play right there just showed what kind of athletic ability he had. And I think the best part about it is the guys in the booth. If the ABC, it was Dan Deerdorf, Frank Gifford, I think Al Michaels, and they were just going berserk. They couldn't believe. Dan Deerdorf's a big old lineman himself. He couldn't believe that. They were raving about that. The guy that intercepted the pass never even got mentioned because it was just all about Larry Allen. The Saints had 1st and goal at the 10-yard line or something like that. No one cared because Larry Allen just made that play. So that probably, everyone's got a Hall of Famers have like their Hall of Fame moment, and he's got a lot of pancakes, but his best play was probably one where he had to run 40, 50 yards. So pretty awesome play there. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, let's go to Matt. He's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Matt.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hey, man. How you doing?
I can't complain.
All right.
I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
So, one, I'm hearing rumors, and I know you can't really sometimes talk about players on different teams, but I'm hearing rumors that the Cowboys might be interested in Anthony Barr from the Vikings. Obviously, he was with us last year. He's consistently being escalated from the practice squad to their starting lineup, and I believe they only have 1 more week left of that. But I believe Sports Illustrated wrote an article saying that there looks like there's some interest in the Cowboys potentially poaching. So just curious if you heard anything regarding that.
I haven't heard much about that, and just be real careful with some of those stories like that, just rumor mill, articles like that. I think that whole thing came from Brian Broaddus. I think Brian was kind of throwing that out there on the radio, and if you look at that article says Brian is the one kind of just mentioning it a little bit. Yeah, Anthony Barr on the practice squad. And Brian might know more about this, but that article was because Brian, he might be spitballing and throwing some stuff out there. That's what he does, and that's what he should do. But I think that's kind of taken on a little of a life of its own there. I'm not sure that there's a real serious part of the Cowboys trying to get Anthony Barr. I think there's a reason Anthony Barr is on their practice squad. It's because the Vikings are trying to get him on their team. That's what it looks like to me. You don't just sit on the practice squad when you're a 10-year vet like that. They have a plan for him. I think that's what it is. That's what I would think. I could be wrong, but I don't know there's a lot to that.
Gotcha. Thank you. And then my second question, and I'll hang up and listen. But obviously, going into the Eagles, Dallas is hot. We have one of the best records in the NFL. A lot of people would say we're Super Bowl contenders, but if we go in, if the Phillies come to Dallas and say we lose this game, does that change your viewpoint on this team? Do we go from Super Bowl contenders to Super Bowl pretenders, and it's last year all over again, or is this a game, like, to me, in my opinion, this is a game where we have to win to even have a chance at the division, but to me, this is more of a game that we have to win to tell ourselves that we are contenders. So I just would love to hear your thoughts on that.
I think that sounds good. Thanks for the call, Matt. Appreciate that. And there's a lot of people that kind of think that mentally the Cowboys need to do this. They need to show themselves that they can win. And I agree with that. I mean, you need to show it at some point. At some point, you've got to show that you can win the game. But I've seen basketball teams that trailed the whole game and hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer, and they never led, but they did win the game. You'll take that all day long as opposed to somebody that was winning, So it doesn't really matter. The end result is there. But from a mental standpoint, we all want to see it. That's what it is. The fans want to see that. They want to think that this season is different. And because it feels different. I've heard that 100 times. It just feels different. It just feels different this year. And I get it. But you want it to be different. That's what the key is. Doesn't matter what it feels. Just be different. And so that's what this comes down to. But if they don't beat the Eagles, does that mean they're not in the play? No, I mean, it doesn't. Because what will happen is this. If they don't beat the Eagles and they win that first playoff game and then maybe they have to go play the Eagles again. You know what everyone's going to say on this show? And they're going to point to the 2007 Giants. Remember the 2007 Giants? Cowboys waxed them twice in the regular season. They get to the playoffs. They didn't win the game. The Giants went and won the Super Bowl. That game's going to be referenced. So you're going to spin it any way you want to spin it. If the Cowboys can win one of these games, they go to Miami, everyone will feel better about that, or they'll beat the Lions, or whatever it is. But I think, yes, we all want to see this game and want the Cowboys to win this and would help from a mental aspect. But I don't know if it's must win, but I think it's one that everybody just wants to see because we're tired of thinking this is different. They want it to be more than feeling different. They want it to be different. All right, let's go to our next caller. Ron is in Silver City, New Mexico. Ron, what's up?
Hey, not much. Hey, Nick, glad to talk to you.
Yeah.
Hey, just let you know, I'm 66 years old. There's been three things constant in my life, which has been hunting, baseball, and the Dallas Cowboys. With that being said, there's some stuff that's happening with the Cowboys right now that I don't understand. First thing, we're playing a quality opponent. We win the flip. Why do we take the ball first? The game is won in the second half. We almost lost it because we didn't defer against the Seahawks. Second of all, we keep on doing these dumb mistakes at the end of the game. Why not run the ball 2 times at the end zone? And if we don't make it, then they go 98 yards or whatever with what? I think they had one, possibly no timeouts.
Right.
No, they didn't have to do that. My next little gripe, Michael Gallup, I loved him. I think his rehab comeback is over. We have Brooks and we have, what's his name, Bennett from the Steelers. They are going to, Michael Gallup's not getting no separation at all. And when he does, he drops the ball. I think Brooks and help me out with that Pittsburgh Steelers
Martavis Bryant.
Bryant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
what's going on with him?
3rd and 8, late in the game, driving down, you throw the ball. You wanted to throw it to Brooks, Tolbert, or Gallup? 3rd and 8.
Either one of them, but not Gallup.
Okay. Disagree on that,
Oh,
but that's okay.
okay,
That's fine.
Okay, no,
I don't agree, but I get your point. Like, this is an off-season. When you get to the off-season, hey, all bets are off. Look at his money. Look at everything. Go, all right, is this what we need to do? But right now, he's not causing a problem for me. He's a wide receiver that has made plays. He's not a problem in the locker room. He doesn't care. I mean, not care. He's not making a big deal about not getting the ball. He knows it's going to come to him. Keep doing his thing. And I think he makes a play. I wouldn't worry about – I don't think he's a progress stopper because he's taking reps from Jalen Tolbert or Jalen Brooks. I don't believe that. I think he's just – I mean, look at it. CD gets 17 targets a game. That's where the targets and the catches are going. Everybody wanted CD to get the ball. Everyone wants Cooks to get the ball. And now Ferguson. They're all getting the ball. And then whatever happens, what's left over for Gallup is fine. The money doesn't add up for that kind of role. But we'll worry about that in the offseason. I don't think you worry about it right now. I just don't have the problem with Michael Gallup right now because he's just been passed over. There's better options. But I still think he can make a play for you when you need him to. I believe that.
Let me ask one more quick question about Gallup, because this isn't something you don't get to see on TV. Okay, yes, they're going through CD. You said 18. Let's give them 19, 20. But Gallup, is he open when they're not throwing them the ball?
I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's times. It's not as much. He does not have that kind of separation like the other guys do. You're right about that. I don't think the other guy. I don't think he's taking snaps away from better players, though. I really don't.
Okay, that's very fair.
But hey, it's a problem. This guy, for the production you're getting, $10 million a year or something like that. That's not a great contract at all. It's a bad contract for the production that you're getting right now. And I think it's something that needs to be addressed next year for sure, or in the offseason. All right.
And one more question.
Yeah.
And it is about Brooks and Bryant that I am.
Okay.
Should I be that excited, or are they just other receivers?
Brooks, different. Thanks for the call. Appreciate that. And I'm going to get to the part you said about winning the toss and all that. But that's two different guys here. We're talking about a rookie, 7th round pick that's still trying to figure out, his way a little bit. And Jalen Brooks and Martavis Bryant, he's been out of football for 5 years. So, I'm not sure if he'll ever play this year. He's doing some decent things on the practice squad. It wouldn't surprise me if they elevate him. They have some elevations, so it wouldn't surprise me if they elevate him. If one of the receivers maybe is banged up a little bit, you want to get a little depth there. You have some receivers to put up there, so that I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. But Jalen Brooks, he's pretty good. He had a really good training camp. Better training camp than preseason. Got in the games, didn't do a ton, but he's getting some work in there, and I think he's getting better and better. I'd like to see his progress next year, see what happens a full year in the weight room. I think he'll be a guy that really makes a big splash next year at training camp and preseason. This was what am I reading here? I'll get to the point about my opinion about play-by-play. Sorry, Chris. Chris tried to give me something on the stats here, but I'll say this about play-by-play. About the taking the ball. Cowboys. Didn't the 49ers? Didn't the Seattle win the toss?
That's why I just sent you.
Okay, sorry. It's a paragraph. I'm sorry. The Seattle won the toss, so they got the ball to start the and it was the Cowboys. The Cowboys scored with a minute and a half to go. Seattle came down in the second quarter and scored, and then they get the ball. That's the key. The key is that if your other team's going to get the ball to start the third quarter, that you better bleed the clock and score last. Don't give them any time. Don't give them any of that back-to-back where they get 2 possessions in a row. And also, score first. Score. That's the key. If the other team's getting the ball to start the second half, you're starting the game, go score. That's where you get the extra possession. The extra possession is that you're starting it off. And you need to do something with it. So, I see the whole. We've seen games this year where teams score at the end and then they score again, but that's on the Cowboys. They've got to stop them, or they've got to get the ball and make sure that they don't give them extra time for that. So, all right, let's go to a quick break here. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. We got more calls to take here, more questions. We'll be right back here on Cowboys Storyline.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys. And now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't stop banking.
Erica is only available in in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you. Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, guys, let's get back here to the phone lines. We've got Dylan. He's in Northport, Florida, right?
Yes, sir. You
okay,
got that.
Northport,
right.
Florida. What's up, man?
What's going on? How you doing today?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Good. Yeah, I just wanted to give you my score prediction. I won't be able to call in tomorrow, so
All right.
I'll give you that. And I want to talk about Jalen Hurts and what Carr said about him on the show the other day there.
Uh-huh.
I know you mentioned it yesterday. So everything he was saying was it was pretty accurate, except until he had his crazy idea to throw Mariota in there. I mean, he's playing hurt right now. He's got a messed up leg, and his game is mobile. He's not really a pocket guy. He's not going to stand in there and go through a bunch of progressions. RPO. Is the first read there? No. Is the second guy there? If there's a second guy, no. Okay, take off running. Well, he's missing the running element right now, so that's something Dallas has to capitalize on for sure. Keep the contain. He's not as mobile as he usually is. And then, like Brian was suggesting on the other show there on the break, Parsons needs to be rushing up the middle consistently, not the edge. So play contain, send Parsons up the middle, and hopefully you got something cooking there. So we'll see.
Yeah. Definitely. I think you're right about that. I mean, I think just putting Micah at different spots and just not letting anybody get a read on where he's going to be, I think is the biggest key when it comes to Micah, which means the other guys got to move around too, and those guys have to be flexible.
Yeah, 100% for sure. And the good news is our D-line is flexible. I think our guys have the ability to play different positions for sure. So we've got that going for us. Score prediction, last week I said the horseshoe was going to fall out of their butt, and it was all going to come crashing down with the Niners because the Niners don't play with their food, and they didn't. So, horseshoe did come crashing out last week. So there's going to be a blowout this week. I think it's going to be something similar. I think Dallas wins handedly, which is I feel kind of crazy saying that, but I think Dallas wins by a couple of scores here. It's going to be 34-21.
34-21. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
That would be a fun game if that happens just like that. So, all right, let's keep moving here. Remember the 888-855-2297 is the phone line. We got a line open here, so let's get to Las Vegas. Rob in Las Vegas.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Rob. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What do you got?
This is all to me. The Philly game it's on our defense. I mean, I don't want to see if we defer, they'll let Philly come right down and score a touchdown. We've been doing that lately where this defense isn't coming out ready to play or whatever, and then we're down. I'd like to see Donovan Wilson get out of witness protection and actually make a play. I have never seen a guy who from last year was so hot to this year, I don't even see him on the field. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Dan Quinn just is using him different, but this guy has been invisible the whole year.
Yeah.
And I just think, listen, it's not a must-win because it's not the playoffs, but psychologically it is. I mean, they hear they haven't beaten anybody. They hear it because they comment about it. And I just think, listen, you're going to meet these guys maybe again. You have to, and they're in your division. You're at home. You got the hottest quarterback in the NFL. You're rolling, and knock wood, you're healthy. So there's no reason not to beat this team. And with Jalen Hurts, just don't let him run that quarterback draw. I know they say his knee hurts, but I don't know. When I watched him beat Buffalo, he ran from about 20 yards out. He still could run. He may not be able to cut, but they run that quarterback design draw. We got to stop that and do what the 49ers did. They kind of said, listen, we're just going to keep them in front of us. And Cowboys should win this game. I mean, this is their time. These are the games now. You got to stretch and let's go.
All right. I'm with you on that. I think I agree with that. That from just a mental standpoint, psychologically, you gotta have it. I mean, you just want, like I said before. I think the fans want to really see that. I think it's for their own, purposes. But yeah, with the Cowboys, I think you need. We've seen it before where they play that way. They play with emotion. They lost that game to Philadelphia, but they lost in a way that I think that it propelled them. We haven't seen them lose since then, and I think that it gave them a little bit of confidence, knowing can't beat ourselves. Let's clean up our own game here, and we should be able to beat these teams and beat them soundly. Now it gets tougher when this group of schedule here. This part of the schedule is obviously going to get tougher. But I think the Cowboys need to see it from themselves. I think it's more the fans than them. But we'll see. Right now I don't know if this is a good time to play the Eagles or not. I really don't. I mean, just because we'll see how Philadelphia responds. They lost to the Jets, and then they win 7 in a row. So then, but they got beat pretty soundly the other night. Let's see if they, do they lose 2 in a row? We'll see what they're made up as well. So this is going to be one of those emotional games. It's going to be a really, really intense, fun game, I think, just because both teams probably feel like they just have to have it. And that's why I have a hard time thinking it's going to be, one-sided or a blowout, just because I think both teams are desperate sort of in their own way. So, all right, let's go to Armando. He's in Mexico City. Armando.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Fine. First-time caller. Well, first time getting through, actually. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Hey, Nick, I want to congratulate you. You have an amazing memory. That's awesome.
Sometimes I forget what the last caller just said, but then sometimes I'll remember a game from 1984. Like it happens like that. So
yeah, that's amazing. I've been a Cowboys since the middle 70s. Well, we only got Cowboys and Steelers games back in the 70s in Mexico City. Well, actually, in the whole Mexico. So I had a poster of Roger Staubach, was my favorite Cowboy back then.
Nice.
Yeah. So I know the teams have to have an international home game every 8 years. I think that's correct. You should call Jerry and tell him to come to Azteca Stadium, biggest stadium. Yeah. I think we still have the record for an NFL game, over 100,000 people, something like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a home game. I guarantee that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would. Yeah, I don't know how the format works there on when the teams play, and they've changed some of the rules on how you get an international game. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Cowboys would love to go to Mexico City, and I'm sure Mexico City would love for the Cowboys to be there too.
That'd be crazy. My favorite Cowboy of all time is officially Jason Witten, and that play against the Eagles when he lost his helmet. The fact that you have an actual rule named after you, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and unless you're Roy Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not a good one, but anyway.
Right. You don't want some rules you don't want named after you, but in this case, it's cool. Even though it wiped out a cool play, I mean, you'll never see it again. That's what makes it, I guess, pretty cool.
Yeah, and my unofficial is Bill Bates.
Yeah.
They used to call him in the Spanish broadcast the Loco Bates, the crazy Bates.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he the first special teamer to go and to the Pro Bowl.
Right.
I think it's the first time ever.
I think they created a spot in the Pro Bowl, not just because of him, but, I mean, he was the first one in the NFC. And I think he kind of he helped take that to special teams to another level where, you really recognize it and they appreciate that position. And he was the first one for the NFC to make it.
Yeah. Well, let's your memory. My random Cowboys was Glenn Carano, third quarterback after Roger Staubach and Danny White in the 70s. I don't think he ever took a snap, but I can't be sure of that.
He did. He started a game one time. He started one game, I think, against Baltimore, and they won. Glenn Carano. I know this. I know, and when I turned 18, my dad sent me a birthday card, I guess, and said, Happy Glenn Carano Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was 18, and I never really played or anything. I think his daughter was a pretty famous MMA fighter, UFC fighter, maybe 10 years ago or so. Like, she was really, really good. Gina, I don't know. I don't follow the sport, but I think his daughter was really good in mixed martial arts or UFC, something like that. So, anyways, that's what I know about Glenn Carano.
Wow. Well, see, you have an amazing memory. I just got off the line. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
One last thought. Do you think ever Tony Romo gets into the Ring of Honor?
Ring of Honor? Yes, I do. Thank you for the call, Armando. I think Tony Romo gets into the Ring of Honor. I believe that. A lot of stats, a lot of records, and Jerry loves him. So, his third kid is named Jones. So, you're saying, I think, not because of that. I think Romo, I think is deserving. Let's don't go down the road of Romo versus Danny White and all that stuff. That's a whole other show. But do I think that Tony Romo will get in? I do. I do think he will. All right, let's go to Kent in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Yes.
What's up, man?
Everything. Cowboys. First time caller.
All right. This might be our first call from South Carolina, honestly. I mean, I was trying to look through the stats, and I don't see another call from South Carolina. So, that's awesome. What do you got, man?
Well, I've been a Cowboy fan since 1966, and I just love the Cowboys. Always will, no matter how they're playing, what they've done. I've seen them do it all.
Awesome.
I tell you, I love your show, Nick. I appreciate what you're doing, and I've been watching you for years, too.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Call every day, man. Call every day.
Well, I try to, but sometimes I can't get through. But I got through today. I said, Chris, good grief, that's Chris. Anyway, I do appreciate what you're doing.
That's our first good grief on this Cowboys storyline for sure. Good grief, man. Good grief, that's Chris. That's what I'm going to say. Every time I walk by, I'm going to be like, good grief, that's Chris. This is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen in the game this week?
I think the Cowboys are going to turn it over on them. They played way too good to have not beaten them the last time, and I think with a home field advantage, I think they're going to take them 35-17.
All right, 35-17. Let me ask you this, Kent. First caller of the day I had posed this question, and nobody has mentioned it since, but if the Cowboys won the NFC Championship on the road, would you rather be in Philly or San Francisco?
Philadelphia.
Good to know.
I hate both of them, but Philadelphia fans are so nasty. Sometimes that'd be just another spur in their backside.
Yeah, it would be. It would be pretty bad. So
But that's hard to say.
Well, but think of it like this. You know what? I just thought of this. You can answer this question really easily too if you just flipped it around. Yep. What team would you hate the most to win it in AT&T Stadium, San Francisco or Philly?
San Francisco.
You'd hate that?
Yep.
See, I think it'd be Philly, but either way, this is kind of bad. This is like, would you rather get punched in the face or the stomach? I mean, like what? This is bad either way. So
bad either way you go. You don't want to get beat by those two teams.
No. But that's not the question. The question is winning it there. It's a positive question. So all right,
it is a positive question. Go Cowboys! I hope he gets his seventh and eighth pick sixes.
Nice.
that would be great to me.
All right. Awesome, man. That would be great. All right. Thanks for the call, Kent. All right. Good stuff. Cowboy Mike. He's in Colorado. Cowboy Mike.
Yeah, Nick.
How you doing?
Really a pleasure. Really good. Great to get on the show. Hopefully you can hear me.
I hear you. I hear you, man. Is this your first call? First time caller?
First time caller. Yep.
All right.
But I've been a Cowboy fan since Don Meredith days back in '66. I became a fan.
Okay.
So, and I'm a season ticket holder, but I live in Colorado, so I'll be there at the game this week. And I've always appreciated your insights. I think this is going to be a tough game, one on the last series of the game, with our great kicker kicking a field goal to win it. That's my prediction in this game.
All right.
But I really appreciate your insight. I always listen to you and Brian Brodus. I think you two give me the best insight.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling and the support. And how are we getting to the game if you're a season ticket holder? Is this a jet? What are we doing here? We fly every game?
Yeah, no, I drive down some of the times, fly down most of the time. But in a game like this, in which they were back-to-back home games,
yeah,
I come down and then I go to Austin. I'm actually calling from Austin because my sister lives in Austin.
All right.
So, and I just see the back-to-back games. But I've been coming to games for way back in the Cotton Bowl days.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, man. Anything else?
Great job on the show. No, that's it.
Okay.
I want to tell you how great a job you do.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you, Cowboy Mike. We got a lot of first-time callers today, and it's good. That's maybe 4 or 5. Maybe not that many, maybe 3. But definitely good stuff from Cowboy Mike. I love how that's his own nickname here. All right, got a few more minutes here. I think we got at least one open phone line. We've got at 888-855-2297. You can definitely give us a call or send us a text here so we can get this on here in the next few minutes. We do have one more caller that just called in here, so let's go to that. We got Sam in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
How you doing, Nick?
How you doing?
Good. So, hey, I wanted to call and answer that question. For me, I've been a Cowboys fan since I was little. I was born in '72, so '75. Godfather got me some pajamas, which were actually Roger Staubach pajamas. So that's my first favorite player of all time.
Nice.
But going back to '92, we won in San Francisco. We weren't supposed to win. They said we were a year away. So I think winning national championship in San Francisco would be a great storyline for you guys to kind of wrap that all up. We would probably have to beat Philly in Philly on the way anyway. So I think that would be great for us, unless we can somehow win the division.
Yeah.
So I think San Francisco is just a great story to be written.
Yeah. I mean, from a historical standpoint, certainly, when you think about not winning in 81 with the catch, and losing the NFC Championship and then coming back and beating them there. And then, in the 94, season, a couple years later, that down 21-0 in San Francisco. I mean, there's just so many memorable NFC Championship games between the Cowboys and 49ers. So that would be awesome in its own right. And then from just from an intense standpoint, like Philadelphia, and the fans can say that, Chris Beam will be down there with a camera. I don't know. He might not, it might not be so much fun, when you're down there.
Definitely not.
I don't know. I don't know what would happen there. I mean, I'm sure they would probably get out of there pretty quick, though. So, the Cowboy fans that are still standing would be there to cheer it through. But that's a great problem to have if it gets to that. That'll be a lot of fun if that happens.
Definitely. And I think score prediction this week, I think we win 31-17. I think definitely I think we have what it takes to get over the Eagles, and I think we proved it the last game. But this game I think we're just growing every week, and I've seen the growth. And I know you've said it a lot where you just keep hearing it's different. I told my daughter that. My daughter has become a fan the last few years, and we go watch every game together. And I told her, I think you're about to see something special because I feel the growth of this team like we kind of did towards the beginning of the 90s, that the defense is getting better and the pieces are starting to come together. And I think Mike McCarthy was the best decision for us coming around. So I know a lot of people don't say that, but I really think he's the guy to get it done for us.
Yeah.
And the staff that we have, all those guys are just amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, I
appreciate your time, and you do amazing job here. So, like everybody else says, congratulations on the new show. You well deserve it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Sam. It's like I said before, it's a lot of fun. Chris Beam does a great job at really helping me get you guys on the air quickly, and and we want to give you guys a chance to say what you want to do, whether it be why you became a fan or your favorite player, favorite moment, what you think is going to happen. I know that there's not a lot of platforms to let the fans really kind of say what they think. So that's really what the show's designed to do. I'm kind of here to just sort of drive the bus, and I'm totally fine with that. I'll be a bus driver all day long when it comes to this. So good stuff. Thank you, Sam, from Albuquerque, New Mexico. New Mexico might win this today on the most different states there. I think we got 2 callers from New Mexico. That's currently in the lead. Running out of time here. We got Kevin in New Jersey as our next caller. Kevin?
Hey, Nick. What's up? I called yesterday talking about my deep-seated hatred of the Eagles, so I just wanted to answer the question that started the show off.
I think it's going to be the Eagles, huh? Okay.
Just to paint the picture, I'm a Jersey guy. My wife's family's from Philly.
Oh, yeah.
My father-in-law is an Eagles fan, and we get together for the games, and he brings this little stuffed football, and he throws it around, and it makes this sound that says, "Go Eagles!" So, it's pretty awful.
That hasn't been accidentally thrown into the garbage? I mean, that seems like a perfect pass. Go long, deep, throw, garbage, trash.
Yeah,
out.
Like I said, all 4 of my sons are Cowboy fans. I mean, we're just waiting for them to win it all, but first and foremost... Time out.
I'm sorry. Time out. This is your house, and the guy comes and brings a Go Eagles ball to your house?
It's family, man,
Do you have a dog?
No dog. Not anymore.
I don't know about in the house like that. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm just kind of going on.
Like I said, Aubrey kicking the field goal to win the game, like the other caller said. That's what we want.
There needs to be a bet. If you win that game, I get the ball for 10 minutes. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
The ball is going in the toilet.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks, Nick.
All right, good stuff. All right.
See you later. Bye.
That was Kevin in New Jersey, probably our last caller of the day. Chris, we got any more calls? We done? Nope. He might be on the phone.
Yeah, we did. I accidentally hung up on him.
Oh, God, Chris.
Sorry, that's on me.
Rookie.
Sorry, Danny.
It was Danny. All right. Well, that's a good. We can end it. This is about the time we wrap things up. Anyways, a lot of good callers today. Get some good first time callers. Good question of the day too. That's what I love about. And that's the thing I regret the most is that Shelby from Virginia called and asked a question, and I didn't get his answer. I wish I would have. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Figure out. I mean, it's a great question. There's got to be some history behind it. There, should have asked him what he thought. Maybe he can call back tomorrow or send a text question. But anyways, good question there. Who, if you were going to win the NFC Championship game on the road, would you rather be Philly or San Francisco? I mean, obviously, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's like saying, when you win the lottery, do you want it in one sum or do you want the payments? I mean, we'll figure it out. Either way, it's going to be pretty awesome. So, okay, good stuff, man.
My answer is either.
Either. Chris Beam says either.
I
Doesn't
said
matter. Either. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's spoken
Just
like somebody that's been here 25 years that's never won it. So just win it. Yeah, doesn't matter. It'll be in Detroit. I mean, it won't even matter. Doesn't matter either way. No one cares about that, about how you get there. It's just getting there. All right. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We will see you tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline. See you.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!